that shit came like that. It's blurry. She got a, she got a thing on her. Her ass is sitting up right. It ain't no joke. I missed my train, so I guess I'm stuck on the track now. I can't allow for the next one to pass by without me knowing. Feel me? Like I was saying in my previous video that I didn't upload yet because I feel like I got a topic now. See, the problem is, like I was saying, in this new place, I can see the excitement on some people's face and wanting to attack me because they're new to this. It's like an ecstasy. It's like an erection for the first time. You like, you excited. It's like you breathing harder than you're supposed to. Like, and they just being predictable in every turn. It's like they just, you feel me?
Face coverings continue to be required
This nigga go
regardless of
fuck with my
vaccination
message.
status on board Metrolink trains
Vaccination
and
status.
stations.
This nigga, man, this nigga crazy. Anyway, so as you get into a new place and people come around me, this phenomenon, you feel me? They're very excited. They on their job. They like, they just, exciting. I can see it. You feel me? Especially from the place where I came from. This place is a little more dry, but from the place where I came from, everything else I could tell and everything else like that. They couldn't help themselves. They wasn't even pretending to make it seem as if they didn't know who I was. They was just like, they was just looking at me like, and it wasn't because I was the only black nigga in town, which it felt like. You feel me? It was the fact that it was me. You feel me? If you know the story, you know what you know. So there wasn't that much of a good pretender when it was doing this. And this kind of reminded me of the time when I was in Amazon too. Like I was saying, when they used to allow people to attack me in any form or shape, they always use the new people because the new people always had some kind of excitement about them and doing something new that they never did before in their regular day life. So they was more energetic and they was more trying to prove themselves to somebody else. Not saying that the old ones didn't, but the old ones learned the ability to hide it a little more and became very good at being deceptive when it came to attacking me in any form or shape. They wasn't as predictable as the new ones were, but it was the same amount of violence and hate and everything else like that. You feel me? Yeah, I'm tell you. But it was the same amount of hate and everything else like that. They try to hide your voice impression. They attack you, then they try to hide it. Anyway, well, it was the same amount of impression. I said impression. Yeah, impression. Yeah, not imprint. Impression. Anyway, it was the same amount of expression that they show and everything, enthusiasm. They just didn't. It was just like there was a difference between the two. One didn't know how to be deceptive in what they was and what they told him to do, and the other one knew how to be deceptive because they was doing it. They've been doing it for a long time, so they knew how to still attack and still act like it wasn't something that they were doing. They just they knew how to pretend their way out, and that's what I'm trying to tell you. Feel me? That's what I'm saying. Be very careful of what you practice over and over because that's who you become. So if you practice over and over to demonize somebody else and uplift yourself, you become very good at that. You feel me? And that becomes your trait. You feel me? This becomes who you are. You become the craftsman of being an asshole. You feel me? And that's through my own research, through my own life and everything else like that. What I have seen, what I have seen is that basically those who start out in the beginning and everything else weren't that good. They weren't that good at all. You feel me? But they knew what they was doing. You feel me? I mean, who wouldn't know what to do? It's an easy job to do. But eventually, after a while, after doing it for a while, they become very good in being deceptive. They became very good in being pretenders. They became very good even offshoring. They became so good, they started offshoring the hate. They started teaching other people how they did it and how they were successful to them. You feel me? So consistency in anything else that you do will multiply the thing and when you do it consistently. So if you're a consistent person and and getting money, guess what? You're gonna constantly get money, and eventually, after a while, you're gonna be getting more money. If you consistently in somebody who don't know how to make money, then guess what? You're gonna be consistently not knowing how to make money. It's the same thing. So if you consistently practice a behavior, guess what? You are going to be that person who become a master at that behavior. So you gotta be careful on what you involve yourself in and what you're doing it for. You feel me? The same amount of energy that you can use to doing something. We all know what is good and bad. So the same amount of energy that you apply to do these things can be the same amount of energy that you can apply to yourself to do something better. Feel me? I'm at Spot Local. Okay, Papa Local. I need it, man. Show you how big this was. Can you see it? Hold on. The sign says it. Loca. Loco. No, I can't read that much. But that's what it says. Feel me? So we just gotta be. We have to have a better system, a system map. You feel me? Where we know how to navigate and do the right things. You feel me? As you can see, it says what? Oh, we gonna cover. So y'all don't see my location. System map. You feel me? You're gonna have a better system map where it shows you a diagram of where to go. You see, it shows you right here. It shows you, it gives you an outline of what stop is next. So you need to have a system map of where not to go, and you have to have a map of the bad things and the good things too. So you know how to follow the direction and everything else like that. And you're gonna be the person that operates this thing. You feel me? You're gonna be the passenger information. You're gonna dial yourself. The passenger information is the person. You're gonna dial your mistakes. Hey, this is my mistake hotline. I know when I was doing this consistently, these are the results that I had. So I know not to do these behavior because these are the results that it brings. I have to change these behaviors to be a better person. You feel me? I'm just talking, just using the signs, you feel me, to my advantage. You feel me? And when you reach track 1, which I see the sun right there, track 1 gives you a beginning of where you've already been already. Doing these bad behaviors, like, kicking Jeffrey, spying on Jeffrey, which didn't bring you nothing but just be a nosy person. You became a stalker doing all these things. You feel me? You have become a stalker. You have become a bona fide U.S. spy agent. You spying on everybody except for yourself. You know what I mean? If you take that same energy and you spy on yourself, you be annoyed at yourself for spying so much on yourself. You be like, God damn, nigga, you gonna tell yourself to leave yourself alone. Be like, leave me. You gonna tell you to leave you alone. That's yes. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're gonna feel like that. You feel me? Let that nigga talk.
For rider safety, face coverings continue to be required regardless of vaccination status on board Metrolink trains.
Let him talk. Let him talk. Let him talk. Feel me? So by applying these things to yourself, you know how to conduct yourself a little better. You feel me? You have to have a code of conduct. Now we got another sign right here. It tells you right here what it says. Code of conduct. And it tells you the things to do and the things not to do. It tells you to buckle up. You feel me? For safety reasons. It also tells you the correct fare, how to pay your fare. It also tells you no firearms, no when you're playing loud music, you have to take other people's into consideration. By wearing headphones, at least you get to hear the music yourself. You feel me? No, you feel me? All these no alcohol beverages, no loud and unruly behaviors. You feel me? This is a system that's running, so they have a code of conduct on how to operate. So you have to treat yourself the same way too. Why do we find it so easy to follow another man's rule? We have agreed as a society that these rules are fair enough for us to follow, but yet we don't apply those same rules to our own life. When it comes to somebody else, when we are operating in a system already, they don't like that. And yet when we come into this system, we operate under these systems we follow it. Look at this face mask shit. 6 feet. Grr, police, he's not 6 feet apart. We call it police. Like, we following that shit faithfully. You feel me? But yeah, when it comes to treating somebody with decency, with some kind of respect, with human dignity, you feel me, humanity, showing some kind of compassion to the next person, you don't apply the same kind of emotions to it. No, no, no. But when it comes to COVID-19 and everything else like that, you want to you want to call the police on people for not wearing face masks in public when that nigga's just walking by himself and there's nobody else around. You gonna call the police for somebody not standing 6 feet apart. Well, I saw these two people, they're not standing 6 feet apart, they're close. They're couples, they're supposed to be close. Let them talk.
An upgrade of services in Puerto Rico downtown is scheduled to arrive on 5 minutes.
5 minutes. You got 5 minutes to talk to you. So you see, the system is operating and running. They also give you reminding of the things you need to do, where you need to go, and how you need to conduct yourself and everything else like that. Plus, it constantly advertise when there's a train coming. You need to constantly remind yourself, like, hey, this is how I need to conduct myself. You need to be advertising good behavior in your life. If they're telling you this is what you need to do and it goes against what you stand for, the principles, your whole character. So remember, your character is a system map. You feel me? Remember that. Your character is based on a system map. Something that you already drew out for yourself. Your integrity. You feel me? Respect for yourself. Things that you wouldn't do. You feel me? Trust and everything else. Like all these good stuff that builds good character. So if something goes against the system itself, don't pay no attention to him. Pay no attention to him. He gotta pay his ticket fare. Feel me? He's the one that gotta pay for that behavior. Feel me? He gotta pay for it. I'm pretty sure the people who build this train or who work on this train don't have to pay for ride on a train. They ride for free. So it's with you too. It's a nice one, baby. I like that size. You feel me? It's good, baby. Nah, never that. So the people that build this train or work on this system do not have to pay for this transit system. They ride for free. People like us, we got to pay for it, and he has to pay for his own behavior, bad behaviors that he's doing like that. That's things that he got to pay for because the consistency of him doing it will give him the results that he's been doing, and it will penetrate into other behaviors in his life. And eventually he's gonna be treating other people like that he loved, and he wouldn't know the reason why he's doing the things that he's doing. You don't have to wait that long to see these things come into play. That's why you have to have a system map. You have to have all these things. You feel me? Person without fair, valid, fair, or subject. Feel me? You can see it right here. Hold on. Where is it? A valid fare required on the platform and on the train. A person without a valid fare are subject to fine. That's all I wanted to read, the fine part. You need to fine yourself every time you go against yourself. You need to discipline yourself. You need to be mad at yourself for not loving yourself enough that you put your all into something, into a behavior that is beneath you. So you got to discipline yourself. You got to fine yourself. You feel me? However you choose to discipline yourself. Feel me? The more you go against yourself, the higher the fine should be. There's no need for you to compete with anybody. You don't need to be running, trying to compete, or trying to make fun of somebody. You feel me? You don't need to be degrading. All this stuff you don't need to be doing. You don't need to be doing none of this stuff. Can you pay on a train? That's a good question. How we gonna find out? Because I would refuse to take another. Take it out. You feel me? You don't need to be doing all of that stuff. You don't need to be talking down upon people. You don't need to be setting up in a group, speaking in codes and secrecy. How they imprison me. You feel me? You don't have to do none of that stuff. You feel me? You don't have to do none of that because you love yourself too much. Reason why you love yourself too much because you already have a system in place. It can be written down. It's always good to write it down. Or it can be on your mind. A system map. You feel me? Passenger information. Passenger information telephone right here. What is it? Hold on. Stop playing. As you can see, passenger information telephone are the people that comes into your life. Now, the people that come into your life are the passengers. They coming into your world. They come into your system map. You feel me? you by the way. Now, how do you instruct people? You see how they got the passenger information. Now, when you call the passenger information, what happened? They tell you the information that is required. They tell you how much the fare costs. They tell you what time this shit comes, what time is that, da da da. These are the way that they're going to treat you, and they telling you how they're going to treat you. They telling you, yo, this is what we're gonna do to you. So the way you treat other people is your passenger information. You treat people how you want to be treated. So that's your passenger information, and that's the calling in. So if somebody come to you, it's like you having an information exchange with them. So if I treat you with respect and everything else like that, guess what? Oh shit! This one, what the fuck? Is this the lab? I gotta ask questions. So the passenger information is when you meet somebody, right? The way you treat them and the way you continually treat them is how you want them to treat you. You feel me? This is how it goes. You know what I mean? This is not ABC. You feel me? It's as easy. It's easy, baby. It's not rocket science. You feel me? And I use the information around me to illustrate. I use the information around me to illustrate what I'm trying to tell you. So, hold on, I gotta. Excuse me. Do you need cash or ticket? No cash. But you guys don't take cash? So it's leaving right now? Damn, man. All right. How much is the ticket? I'm going San Bernardino. This is going San Bernardino? Damn, man. I'm tight. Fuck, man. This nigga right here, he's still here. Like, I'm tight. I've been out here for a minute now. Yo, I'll be up, bro. Been out here for a while. Every 30 minutes. Anyway, I've used the information that's some. Oh my god! I done missed 2 trains being stupid. You feel me? Well, I'm still getting punched in the face and everything else like that. Still talking to you guys. Feel me? Still getting attacked and all that stuff because they insecure about who they are. They don't have a system map in place. So they're more likely to fall wayside every time anything comes. They choose. They jumping jacks. They don't. They just they just like they hesitating. They don't know what to do because they don't have things in place where they wouldn't go against. Because they just make it up as they go along. If it benefits them at a certain point, well, guess what? They're gonna go with it. So today they could be righteous. The next day they could be something else. Because it's according to the time that it benefits them. You feel me? But when you have somebody like myself and others, that regardless of how hard the season gets, we seems to operate. Oh yeah, jeez, jeez, Louise. Boy. This nigga right here, some people are just ridiculous. That boy been buying tickets for a while now. You feel me? That's why some people are so quick to attack somebody who's a total stranger to them. You feel me? This is the reason why they do the things that they do, because they do not stand for nothing. They haven't built a system in place yet, so they're more likely to make more mistakes as they go along. Feel me? But then again, when you have society enabling you feel me? If you have society enabling you, You see, the system that I just described, society enables that system because you have sanitation workers that come around and clean it up and everything else like that. You also have different entities that come and clean the train and everything else like that. If something breaks down in a system itself, you have maintenances that come around and clean it. You see, they have different entities that's attached to it that clean these things up. You as an individual, you don't have these kind of things. You feel me? As an individual, you just don't. But some people in society have enablers. They have the government that enables them. They have people that enable them. They have family that enable them. So they are taking they enable these such behavior, and that's why the behavior seems like it's cool to have. That's why it feels like it feels right, but it's definitely wrong. And they know it's wrong. But since you have so many people agreeing with the way it's okay for somebody like myself to be treated like that, guess what? That's the form of enabling. You enabling it because you babying it and you acting like it's okay, which is not okay. So they have enablers, but in an actual society, this kind of behavior will never last. It will never last. Of course not. Like they wouldn't even like, cause guess what happens once you start behaving and conducting yourself without a system map, like I illustrated, right? Once you start behaving and conducting yourself like that, guess what happens? Once you start going against the system map, guess what happened? Somebody you already because you showing somebody how to treat you, so now you're gonna be on guard 24/7. You're gonna be on guard because now you know that damn, I've opened a door to where I'm projecting how I want people to treat me. Now you've made this behavior a norm. You guess what I'm Now you've made this behavior known. You feel me? So guess what happens? Now you have a you have a now you're going to be walking on eggshells. Now you're going to be like, it's a crazy world, it's a cold world, so I gotta get them before they get me. Guess what? Now you create an atmosphere of such a behavior where you think that everybody behaves and conduct themselves like that, which is not true. You understand what I'm saying, right? That's because this are the behavior that you're conducting yourself in. You feel me? Because your passenger information, when people see you and they see you be treating other people like that, guess what? They're more likely to treat you like that too. How can they treat you other way? And you forever gonna live with that concept in the back of your mind. Whew, about time. How do I know which one is which? This is a problem, bro. How did they got that? San Bernardino downtown or San Bernardino up depot. Seahill outfit. Freak show. There's two selections. I don't know which one to take. I'll take it. Get the fuck on my ass. You're supposed to know this shit already, man. Fuck, man. Excuse my language, man. This shit's retarded. Yeah, yeah. I get it. I know it. Bing. No. I see why this nigga was going through. Sheesh, Mary and Joseph. Motherfucker. go back. Let's see something. It's the same shit. Oh, got it. So you understand, right? So this so this is what people actually by doing. So they constantly walk on eggshell, think, and I seen it happen, man. I have seen it happen where people are constantly watching their back because they like it's going to be done to me, and it do happen, and they just be having a battle back and forth about who's worse and who's bad, and it's like, yo, you could have just avoided it. You could have just avoided all that shit by just, not being involved at all. You feel me? Once you're not involved, you're not involved. You feel me? Few punches to the face. You feel me? So when you have a system map, you feel me, of how you conduct yourself, you feel me, you have everything that you stand for, things that you would not do, regardless of how things get hard, you wouldn't go against it. You feel me? This destination within you that you wouldn't even cross. There's an edge that you wouldn't go above. There's things that you want to do, but for the greater good, you're like, I'm not going to do that because I have this purpose in my life. You feel me? You feel me? Because you thinking in advance, like, nah, safety is my number one priority. I'm not going to jeopardize. You feel me? Oh, there's two different sides of San Bernardino. Damn, which one am I going to? Yeah, I gotta go. I gotta make sure I check that first. I know the next train should be coming soon. But I'm gonna talk to you a little bit more. I got like probably 6 minutes on the recording, maybe more. So put these things in front of you. Put these things up front of you. You feel me? So you wouldn't go against yourself. So you wouldn't have to feel bad about doing things that is beneath you. Because this behavior is definitely beneath all of us. I truly believe it. Regardless of how much it feels like you're enjoying it, it's never enjoyable when it's happening to you. You feel me? If it feels good one way, it should feel good the other way. But once it only feels good one way and you can't take it, then that tells me that you just going to be living in fear for the rest of your life. The reason why, because it could happen to you, because you've opened a doorway for it to happen to you. Because once you treat somebody some way, somebody else is watching you doing it, and they more than likely are going to treat you the same way you treated that person. You've given them an excuse to either join you so y'all can treat that person like that, or you giving them an excuse to do it to you whenever they find an excuse to do it to you. Believe that. You feel me? It's true, man. Don't even get it twisted. I've been doing this for a while. I know what I'm talking about. I've been playing this position for a long time. I don't have to share this information. You feel me? But I know what I'm talking about, so I know these things. You feel me? You feel me? You see, I seen people who join other people to attack me, and when the situation
For rider safety,
for rider
face
safety,
coverings continue to be
commercial
required
advertisement,
regardless of
you see that
vaccination status
constantly
on board
reminding
Metro
you
Link
of
trains
safety.
and at stations.
Constantly reminding you of safety. Constantly. It doesn't stop. You feel me? You would think we got it the first time, but we are very forgetful. So sometimes you gotta remind yourself constantly too. Like, look, man, I gotta remind myself. I gotta remind myself. I gotta remind myself constantly. Remind yourself of good behavior. Constantly remind yourself, look, man, I cannot fall victim to what is hot right now. I gotta stay on my principles. I gotta stay on my P's and Q's. You constantly gotta remind yourself it's a battle to be this good. Like it got nigga, it's worth work. Take a look at society itself. And when you take a look at society, right? If If you was to take a day off, and sanitation workers took a day off, and nobody picked up garbage and everything else, that shit is gonna pile up. Well, that's the same thing with your behavior. That's the same thing with bad behavior. If you do not check these behavior, guess what? They pile up and they become a mess. So, in order to conduct yourself in a good manner, in order to conduct yourself clean, cleanliness is next to godliness. So, in order to even be in that kind of conversation, you have to constantly check your shit. You gotta be on top of your P's and Q's. You gotta be like, nah, I can't. Like, you feel me? You got, because once you start this behavior, right? Like I was saying before, I was rudely interrupted. There were people who joined the other side and helping the other side, but when the other side when they find an excuse, they quickly attack these people. Quickly. Now they looking at me like, shit, I need to help. Man, I ain't helping you, nigga. You attack me. How the fuck I'm gonna help you just cause now you need help and you under attack? No, nigga. You should have been watching how I conducted myself during that process so you can know. It's kind of funny when you having fun. There's a lot of things that go by that you don't see. When you having fun, what did they say? When you having fun, time goes by fast, right? Well, that's the same thing. When time is going by fast, guess what's happening? You're not collecting enough information. You feel me? So when they joined the crowd and they was doing the thing that they was doing, now the crowd turned against them. Now they're looking for a handout. No, nobody's gonna do that for you because you didn't have the same sympathy when you was doing it to somebody else. So nobody's gonna find it within themselves because they didn't see you display it. So how can they display it to you? You understand? You have to understand. If you don't understand, then you refuse to understand it. You feel me? You have to. It just, you know what I mean? It cannot fit. It doesn't add up. Like, you cannot treat somebody bad and expect good from that person. It's like, it doesn't fit. It's like a fat nigga in a car. Like, sometimes it just look awkward. You like, damn, how did that nigga get in that car? Now, sometimes I be looking, I be like, damn, how that nigga got in that car? Like, you feel me? Like, it took a while. You feel me? It's like one of these fat niggas that wear jeans. And you like, dang, it must have taken a while for this fat nigga to fit in that tight ass jeans. Like, this shit look halfway bizarre. You feel me? That's what it looks like sometimes. You like, yo, these niggas, what the fuck? You treat somebody bad and you expect them to treat you good? Oh, you need people? Like, no, it doesn't work like that. You feel me? I'm still waiting on my train experience. So many mistakes has happened, but it's okay. We patiently waiting. You feel me? I'm not in a rush. You see? You feel me? Just like we patiently wait on that bus, you gotta be patient with yourself too. You gotta practice patience. That shit will get you a long way. It brings you a lot of opportunities. You feel me? They even tell you how to ride. Hold on. Let me show y'all niggas right here. Look at this. What does it say? How to ride. It gives you instructions. That's how you gotta treat it. When people come into your life, you gotta give them instructions. Like, yo, this is what they might be like, oh, you fucking rude, my nigga. Like, what the fuck? Like, how you but look, man, hey, if I don't tell you, you gonna call me an asshole when I spaz on you. Cause people wait too long to explain themselves to other people because it's too late. Now they're yelling at the person. Now that person, now you become worse than what you are. But if I'm training you consistently when you in my present, just like you see, I'm in the present of a system, which is a train station, and it constantly reminding me, wear your face mask. Safety is our number one. Every other minute, it constantly reminding you. So when I do it, how come I'm the devil? They be like, he. They always got something to say, but when these people do it, they be like, yeah, you gotta wear your face mask. You feel me? They agree with that nigga. They see the system, they're like, yep, you gotta do it. But if you a person who's carrying yourself just like they are, they be like, oh, who the hell does he think he is? You ain't nobody. You feel me? But yet they telling you how to ride. They telling you, they giving you a map system. They telling you who to call. They telling you, they giving you code of conduct. They don't give you a whole rule of how you need to be. You feel me? Notice, no parking. They telling you what not to do and what to do. They telling you when to call, riders attention, They give me all kinds of shit, updates. Even tell you about COVID-19, wear your face mask 6 feet behind. They instructing you on how to behave and everything else like that. But yeah, when I tell you, when you come into my system, this is how you need to conduct yourself, and this is how I expect you to conduct yourself, and this is how I'm gonna treat you. Because I want to be treated that way too, because I want to be treated with some kind of kindness and respect. You call me an asshole. You call me all kinds of names. They always say, who the fuck does he think he is? He think he better than us. Why is he always trying to instruct people to do this and do that? You feel me? That's how they be thinking. But I'm like, damn, nigga, I'm telling you what you want. You just don't want that for me. So you have a problem with me wanting that. You want me to be stupid, right? I had to spit on that. But my time is over, man. Look at it. I'm past the time that I'm supposed to pass. You feel me? I'm surprised this shit is still recorded. It must be that good. They still want to hear me. You know, a few punches to the face. The reason why people do the things that they do, the reason why somebody would do that to me is because that person is insecure within themselves. There's no security. They don't have these things. They don't have the code of conduct. They haven't even accepted themselves yet to accept me as a person. Like, you have to understand what is going on. Oh, there's a track. Let it be.
Rider safety.
Oh, that nigga's on cue.
Coverings continue to be required
Follow.
regardless of vaccination status on
You heard.
board Metro
You heard it.
and stations.
You see? On point and on cue. And it's short and it's sweet. But they telling you. But let's get back to the people who behave like that. They have not accepted who they are. They have some kind of issue with accepting who they are. You feel me? So they feel like it's like a kid who is not agreeing with the results at hand and start being fidgety and start hitting. An undisciplined kid at that. Feel me? Shout out to all the disciplined kids out there. An undisciplined kid will start fidgeting and start throwing toy and try to hit niggas with the toy and start banging the toy over his sister or his brother's head. Terrorists. These kids are terrorists, I tell you. This how these niggas act. They have not been disciplined. They don't have no security. They mad because you made a decision for you, and you haven't even accepted it yourself. So you've decided to put your hands on somebody else, thinking that's gonna change the atmosphere or the equation of what you're doing. That's not gonna change that. You feel me? It's still gonna remain the same. Just like that kid. That kid, you can hit your mommy all you want, and your mom be like, well, and they start crying and crying, hoping it would change the situation. But if your mom is a stern mom or a father, they be like, yo, you can cry all you want, man. This is what I'm telling you. They be like, no. They cry. Then they start hugging you. They be like, please. Then eventually, after a while, they get the point after they run out of tears. You feel me? But you gotta be stern with it. You gotta be stern with it. Like, you gotta be stern with these niggas. You gotta be like, look, man, it doesn't matter how many times you punch me in my face. It doesn't matter how many times you kick me and everything else like that. I'm gonna treat you like that bad little kid. I'm not gonna put my hands on you, but I'm gonna make sure that you get all your frustration out. You feel me? You're gonna be like that nigga that's experienced, that has been doing this for a long time, and you become the great pretender. You either gonna pretend with me because you just don't know how to behave that way, so you have to pretend it. Because whenever you practice something for a long time, guess what happened? It becomes part of you. So if you let it pass. So if you pretend to be good for a long time, guess what happens? You eventually become good. You feel me? So guess what? We gonna teach you how to pretend to be good, and guess what? You will become good. You feel me? Because that's what you've been practicing, and it's going to be part of your regimen. That's the cure right there. So, in conclusion, I brought it back from the beginning all the way to the conclusion. Bomb. In conclusion, see, whatever you practice is what you become. You feel me? So these bad little kids, we're gonna make sure that they cry it out. They can fidgety, kick, punch, use drugs, vodka, liquor, all that shit that they need to get their point across is never gonna work. And you can't turn somebody against themselves. You can't make me into something that I'm not. So as a parent, I'm not gonna buy into your little kid game. Nigga, that's childish behavior. So I'm a good parent, so I'm never going to go against myself. I have a system map in place. Every time I look at my system map, I'm like, hell no, nigga. My shit is solid. It's working. You feel me? Those routes? Yeah, I took those routes already. Yeah, they get me back to my results. So guess what? I can't go against that. I made you. Why would I play your games? No, nigga, I made you, nigga. I'm not gonna play the games with you, nigga. No. I'm gonna wait until you cry it out, until you use the drugs and the vodka and your manipulations and your narcissistical ways and everything else that you need to use, your psychopath and sociopath and antisocial ways that you need to use it, all these jitty behaviors and disrupt